Nice set up for details now, because President Akufo-Addo has identified stabilization of the CD as his top priority as the government undertakes a SWOT analysis of the economy with an interest group. Now, the CD this week showed signs of recovery against the US dollar and other trading currencies after weeks of tumbling. A sustained clampdown on the black market is a key strategy of the government to reverse the depreciation. Now, at a meeting with the Ghana Employees Association and the Private Enterprise Foundation, the president disclosed that a deal with the International Monetary Fund is close.
Inflation rate was 37.2. That is one of the highest in recent history. So all this is posing major challenges for us as employers. The cedi depreciation is rapidly eroding the working capital of most of our members, if not all. And this threatens our ability to grow our businesses, retain employees, and let alone create more jobs. Cost of borrowing has shot up significantly. You know, as of March this year, the Bank of Ghana rate was 14.5%, and it has shot up by 1,000 basis points, taking it to 24.5 as of September this year. This base rate increase has significantly affected our ability to raise capital to grow our businesses. But we know the reasons. We understand, and we know that working together we should find our way out. For a number of us, our basic raw materials are imported. And so if you have a cedi depreciating at that rate, the cost of production is going to significantly increase. It is not in all circumstances that you are able to transfer the cost to the final consumer. And so with that happening, it means the businesses are running at a loss. And this sadly hurts us because we have made a firm determination that we are going to support the government's agenda of creating jobs and growing our economy. And so we believe that we will have to work together on this to see how the exchange rate depreciation can be halted along the line as soon as possible, so together we can win. The rising rate of food products and all of this is creating some ripples on the industrial relations front. How is this? Our employees are feeling the pinch. The businesses are also feeling the pinch. So if we are not able to really match the wage bill, the wage levels with the increasing rate of inflation, there is turmoil at the workplace because employees in their mind believe that the employer should be able to provide all of their needs. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world, but that is human psychology for you. And so what do we do as employers? What do we do as a country? And what do we do as a government? I think we can put our heads together to find a way out. So we have a few recommendations for the government, and for all of us, I should say, Your Excellency. In the short to medium term, we recommend that the following steps. I know Governor Addison and his team are all doing a few of those things already, and we want to encourage them to do a little bit more on that to stabilize the forex rate as quickly as we can. The petroleum sector, we know a platform was created for them. And I hear about 25% of their needs, forex needs, were provided. Incidentally, this doesn't look to be enough. And so if you see the rate at which the fuel prices are rising at the dump, it sends ripples all over the place. So, Your Excellency, distinguished ministers of state and all gathered here, our plea and our recommendation is that maybe Governor Addison and his team should look at how we can reprioritize our import needs and see where we can put a lot more into this, onto this platform, so that if it is fuel, transportation, that drives virtually everything, then let's put a lot more in there. And if we did, it will help stem the tide of the depreciation of the cedi and also the rising rate of inflation. I know His Excellency and his team met the Forex Bureau operators either yesterday or today, which is a good thing that we think we need to regulate the operations of Forex bureaus. We shouldn't ban them. Employers are not saying we should ban them. If we ban them, they'll go underground, and that will even worsen the speculative activities. So what we are saying is that globally, you go anywhere and you will not be able to just go and change your currency. You have to show your passport or some ID, so we know who is buying what or who is selling what.
Appreciation of the solidarity that the Employers Association are showing with government in terms of its analysis of the problems confronting the country. I think there's a great synergy here of the the intellectual and policy prescriptions that, first of all, give us why things are happening, and then what we need to do to resolve them. I think that the centerpiece, the need to focus on the stabilization of the currency, and then the subsequent measures that are being called for by you. I believe that these are all matters that the government is already very committed to realizing. And for our purposes here, it would be perhaps a good idea to have little vignettes from the finance minister and from the governor of the Bank of Ghana to indicate to you exactly what is being done. Because working with an association such as yours, and especially, of course, with your membership in trying to develop and strengthen our economy, that is at the heart of the work of government. And it's just that extent that I am encouraged by the consanguinity that there is between how you see the things and how we see things. I think it's very encouraging at this stage to have that from such a responsible organization as yours. So I would like to call upon the Minister for Finance to give us a brief overview of where we are.
Now, leading members of over 30 reputable civil society organizations serve notice to lock down the country with a series of demonstrations if the president fails to heed calls to fire his finance minister, Keno Foriata, who has come under intense pressure from his own members of parliament. Now, in an unprecedented move, members of parliament serving on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party petitioned President Akufo-Addo on Tuesday to dismiss his cousin, who they argue has lost control over the economic affairs of this country, hence creating disaffection for the party at the grassroots. However, President Akufo-Addo is reported to have implored the MPs to allow Ken to conclude negotiations with the International Monetary Fund for Ghana to secure a bailout plan before the conversation on his dismissal is addressed. Even before the dust settles, a pressure group calling itself the Citizens Coalition says it is untenable for the president to further defer his decision to fire his finance minister in the wake of an economic downturn. Beyond the dismissal of Keno Foriata, the group says now is the time for the president to reconsider a reshuffle. Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante is a leading member of the coalition. Meanwhile, the group is warning that it will lock down this country for 3 with a conspicuous street protest if all avenues to get the president's attention fails. Kofi Bentel is a member of the coalition.
One of the things we are saying, short of asking the president to leave, is show us just the token of maybe shifting your team. Okay, do something about the people who are in charge of this. Another reasonable thing that has been said is that if the finance minister has expressed severally on different occasions that he does not believe in the IMF solution, then please, he should not be leading that team. I think it's reasonable. All right. We also want to send a message to our parliamentarians. We support what you did. It's constitutional and it's proper. We just don't have the kind of constitution that the British have, where the party can remove the president and put somebody there. But at least we do have a parliament and they do have those powers. And we are saying that only a fool waits for his sore to become so chronic that he has to cut his foot. So don't wait for this thing to become something that leads somebody to overthrow this constitution. And on that note, several musings and suggestions that what we may need is a military coup or something. It's never a solution. I think it has been explained here, and we would like to send this message that if anybody attempts that, we will be the same people to fight you down. We've been there, we've done that. It's not solved any solution. It's not solved any problem. There is nothing that makes a man holding a gun wiser than one holding nothing. We have problems, we will work through them constitutionally, which is why we are saying if the president cannot give us a good enough idea, there are ways in the constitution to ask him to resign or to force him to resign, either through parliament or through demonstrations. And like was said here, you don't just get up and do a demonstration. None of us here are afraid of demonstrations. We have track records in demonstrations, but we are going at this properly, in an orderly fashion. And I mentioned parliament because they are part of the solution. We can do this and do it in the proper constitutional way. But of course, if we get to the point where we realize that nothing will shift, the president remains where he is, he believes this is the best he can do, he believes this is the best thing he can have, and we keep sinking, nothing stops anybody from going onto the streets and locking the country down for 3 days. That also does not mean any military adventurist should pick up a gun. We will resist you too. So the point is, citizens have been at the front of this fight from day one. And we want to assure everybody that we'll continue to be at the front of the fight. We'll do it well, we'll do it properly, we'll do it constitutionally. This is our country, and we'll continue to defend it.
The majority in Parliament say they will challenge a ruling of the Speaker on the report of the Privileges Committee and absenteeism in Parliament. Now, the committee recommended that Dome Kwabenya MP Sarah Adjasafo's seat be declared vacant, but the Speaker says that decision must be subjected to a vote in Parliament. Now, a position the majority disagrees with. Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante has the rest of the story.
The House has been deeply divided over what should happen to Dome Kwabenya MP Sarah Adjasafor after it was established that she absented herself from Parliament for more than the constitutionally allowable days. The Privileges Committee recommended that her seat should be declared vacant. The majority held the view that the committee's report must be final. The minority disagreed. The Speaker has now made a decision.
It goes without saying that the preliminary objection of the majority leader to the admissibility of the motion for consideration of the report of the committee is hereby dismissed in limine. Representation is so crucial that it cannot be left to the subjective view of any person or group of people, but the whole House.
Reacting to this ruling, Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu described the Speaker's decision as unfortunate and not sound in law and said they would challenge the ruling.
And I'm expressing my discomfort with this unfortunate ruling that we have made. I totally disagree. I think it doesn't sit with the Constitution and with your own earlier statement that we made in this House relating to this same thing, very inconsistent. To that extent, Mr. Speaker, I'm serving notice. We know what to do. We come with a substantive motion to challenge your ruling, which I find very obsequious. Very obsequious. And doesn't sit in this House.
This response from the majority leader generated some exchanges between him and the Speaker.
That word, offense against the Order 93, and I'll ask you to withdraw that word and apologize to me.
Is it the first time the word unfortunate has been used in this House? Or you want to reset the rules of this House?
The Table Office of Parliament will now table this motion before Parliament for a debate and then a vote. Now that the minority is backing Sarah Adwoa-Safo, it is left to be seen whether some majority MPs will also do same. Mind you, this decision of the Privileges Committee also involves Honorable Kennedy Japan and Honorable Henry Korte, who have all been pardoned according to the committee's report. This will now be subject to the decision of the House, whether or not the decision will be ratified by the House or the House will take a contrary decision. Member of the Privileges Committee, Alhaji A.B.A. Fuseni, says the challenge of the majority is much ado about nothing.
The utterances of the majority leader, Honorable Chairman Sabosu, who has had a very long career in this House and is conversant with the rules of the House. I mean, in the first place, when a matter, Mr. Speaker refers a matter to a committee of the House, that committee reports back to the House.
For JoyNews, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Joining us live via phone is Kina Likimani, who's programs manager at Odikro. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Now, do you agree with the Speaker's ruling that MPs should vote on whether Dome Kwame's seat should be declared vacant or not?
Well, Parliament makes its own rules. At the end of the day, we are hoping that the seat will be declared vacant, that they themselves will abide by their own standing committee and by the Constitution. All this back and forth. We are watching them to actually abide by their own rules, because then it means nothing. I want to point out that the Constitution, in its wisdom, is a very kind Constitution. It grants that MPs are human beings with life, most likely parents, relatives, and it grants MPs 15 days to be absent without permission, because you can get up one morning, in fact, you can go to bed intending to go to Parliament, the next day you don't feel well. So you have 15 days. Now, after you are over that limit, the process is still kind. It says, go to the Privileges Committee and explain yourself.
Yeah.
They referred 3 people to the committee, 2 people went. We may not be satisfied with their explanation, but they abided by the summons. They respected the process and went. One person did not make herself available, knowing that she's the worst abuser of absenteeism in that meeting.
Yeah.
She didn't. Disrespected. So basically, if they are going to, at the end of this whole thing, they are going to allow someone to disrespect them, we are watching. She disrespected the Constitution, has disrespected the entire process.
Yeah.
And has disrespected her constituency. This is not something to play, at this late time, it's not something to play politics with. Because basically then someone who has flagrantly abused absenteeism and will still get paid, will still go around this country fashioning herself as an MP.
Yeah.
This is what it is. So when Parliament says that they make their own rules, then it's mind-boggling. You make your own rules and you don't abide by them. It's rules for convenience. So we say we are watching, but we want Ghanaians to pay attention. This is not the time that, particularly in the crisis that we are in with the economy and everything, where people should say, well, they are tired of Ghanaian politics and their MPs. This is the time to pay attention.
Now, do you think the MP should be given the power to make this decision?
Well, even if they are given the power, of course they can be given the power. But the thing is that the rules are clear.
Yeah.
The rules are clear. The rules are clear, so they can be given the power. Of course, the Speaker can give MPs the power, but the rules are clear. We are, of course, disappointed in the Speaker's ruling, but he can. The Speaker, in the Speaker's wisdom, can do this, and we will see. But of course, the rules are clear.
Yeah. All right.
And so is the level of disrespect. That's also very clear.
The rules are clear, and so is the level of disrespect.
Yes.
And that's according to Kina Likimani, who's a programs manager at Odiko. Thank you so much for your time.
Bye.
Now, Samuel Kojo Brace visited Dome Kwabenya and spoke to some of Adjo Safo's constituents.
Go and live outside. Whenever they heard about her, it was about her son. Her son had done this, her son had done that, and they didn't know. But for him, he had already lost an MP, and he was only looking forward for, a re-election of a sort so he could get a new MP for himself. Well, that's his thought. Let's try and engage more people. Chief, Edzeng. Adum. Then what can I say?
Me then say, I just have fun. Namian Mukani. Oto kwedu ano in America can no ya de pa ukwa taifa no ne Burkina na waye kwani nyina kama but nyina so be mritie mu ye hu no parliament ye tenenka na second so first so no na oye de na oba e ma ye hu no say o adwasafo ani won ba se ye hu no tie se no akwa se wo krom na ohin ho kro no djuja obi aye no eden ope obi atimi ye ne ope ne se oye no ai nuka so eden no oye what I said no say e idea obenya no hu obi na why then waba no be pacho say bi amepa cho ene de me ma nya ni na wabepa ga na nyina acho na wabepa do me nyina echo de a ye be gina tum because oyo oba obo no homoden no kura ye ka so obo no homoden na e twa ntro obo no homoden because those am na do me e do me pa ba se say no ye hu no parliament ye hu no do me ntina ma do me any taifa constitution na dem ai basa etino otimi hwe no so ye beboa ye from abodin.
So that's abodin there. Now he says that, look, the woman started well. She done so many things for the constituency. A lot of roads have been constructed during her time. He doesn't know what happened that over the past few years, it looks as though she lost interest in the seat or in the duties as a member of parliament. But he feels that if she would apologize to Ghanaians, apologize to the constituency, that look, I am sorry for what happened, and she's ready to continue as a member of parliament because of what she's done, they are willing to accept her back. Because when she was really active, Dome was up there. Dome Kwabenya constituency was already up there, was always in the news for the positive things. And so if she really comes to apologize and says that country, look, Ghana, Dome, forgive me, they are willing to accept her back as a member of parliament because she's a fantastic MP, really. Okay.
It's so fire, no so fire. Because one may bridge now, Kenyanaka, you know, many rider, I basa, but what bay bridges need be brave. Who could a typhoon? Why you kind of fine? The men require why you kind of fine, why you kind of fine? Just say, oh, Bob, remember, this come on, ground with me.
Okay. So he says that they were suffering from floods or flooding some time ago, but she came to construct a lot of the bridges, and that has saved them. So he feels if she can only apologize, they would accept her back as their member of parliament. Okay, so let me try and engage more people here. Chief, Edzeng.
Ayo.
Nanya no aka so very brofo no.
Da bia nyame.
Yo.
Eti brofo ba ye mikrom kasa na me.
Ene yen kam brofo.
Da bi yen mikrom.
Anyway, mbajo jina say na face me kam na me. O member of parliament ho nsense me. Ontina na nko.
Sese adwasa for there sese de why de wodi ahwam. Nti say ye ma ne kona nipa foforo ba. Because they say no, you nim said do me cry MP fufuro bia bim. He MP bia wo do me ya. Nti ne say no de nya ne se mpanyinfo no, de omo beka no. Ani yesisi eti omo. Because the adwasa for aye ne de ye hu hwe. Nti ma asem kakra me wo ka no.
Okay. Obisi obe pa chawa nke ye on to aso.
Apacha we nya chopa because we are why na first time say we are why. Sese ne yesama na kwanya fufuro say we be san aye. Nti yansi san dem favo from.
Na nya first time we bi da ben apart from we no.
Oh, say adwasa for say nyame no kweso buade a anka ne mpanyine fo be frɛ na okoye o mutu ana moko frɛ no. Do ye ne ade nyina anka ye obu mu anka so tumi ye den. Oba. Ba wa ma. aye do ono pa wie yansa no ye den oba ba yeso ye mpenisa because we yes wagu ye do me kwa benya wagu ye nyina ye hu fi what I say nti de benya ne say benya nipa foforo obeye den oba be so okay.
So for him, he has had enough of Sarah Adjoa-Safo as MP. He feels that she disrespected the Privileges Committee when they extended an invitation to her to come and explain herself. He feels that if she respected them, she would have come to offer her explanation. She didn't. And so for her, there's no redemption. She should go. And that's it. She's only craving for a new member of parliament for this area. So that's his thought. Let's try and engage more people here. Chief, to say. Great. Member of Parliament, Sarah Adjoa-Safo. Ninsense, I'm also there. Continent uncle.
Media, Meko dear, to Abama. A lieutenant Okoye. I am a GSA Adjoa-Safo. Oh, yes, actually, MP for me. Unimiasa Sempeni for Ninara. The Akufo-Addo, you was and yet, and your papa, a ball mine. A team of mine say. It was so, it's not one free. So I must say, I'm a member, I'm going to know for people from Medina, say to Abama, elder. So almost a member, I'm going to address of us uncle. Near to Abafro, near 1% pool, elder constituency Asia. Maybe says to back as a trouble, address of them trouble Kufado. So I'm a member, I'm going to address of war. Enfrio, near Shadi.
To the near question, office and the Quaimoa.
And one or the Yansen was what I say, the Omoya or mining yet. I'm one follow folly. Bonnie, and no action on Wakojan chance, no more Omoyano, Omocha, and no man, no million years, or million year, Baba.
All right. So, I mean, he feels that what Sarah Adjoa-Safo is doing is the right thing. That she feels this administration has really mismanaged the economy and she doesn't want to be a party of. And that's why she left. And he feels that it is a right reaction.
That is Selma Kojo-Brace having a conversation with some Dominic constituents, and they were reacting to the Speaker's ruling on Adjoa-Safo. Away from that, the Asante Hene has accused some government officials and politicians of being complicit in illegal mining menace, popularly known as Galamsey. According to Otumfo Osei Tutu II, certain politicians and business people not only participate in illegal activity, but also own earth-moving equipment like excavators that are used to destroy forest and water bodies. Now, the Asante Hene made the revelation when a delegation from the multimedia group presented a copy of its latest documentary, Destruction for Gold, to him at the Manshia Palace in Kumasi. Ohiming Teria has more.
The presentation of a copy of the Destruction for Gold documentary to the Asante Hene at the Manshia Palace is part of the No to Galamsey campaign by JoyNews in the fight against illegal mining. The Asante Hene observed illegal mining operations have become so complex to the extent gold can be exported out of the country through the borders without being detected.
Gold chrono enam airport until ye were fidie de gold wo na ye ni bi ho. Na akasa Galamsey enkrofo ye pindi ni afra ye nyina se ya me ni amre ni antwa no na pass ye concern bo ni betua na de onu ye ni abamu mpanyimfo politics mo wo mu nyina ka ho greater wo ma to tobi businessman for to tobi bebre enti ko no ye ko a e was ye me ne bre ne ye ko ya nwe ye koko a ye dua no e bedru baby no na fe de kokora e beka se cyanide ne ye abam ti ye ntobio.
The multimedia group delegation was led by the general manager of the Kumasi business unit, Jim Agla. It included Kofi Adudumfe, the news editor, Erastus Asaridonko, who produced the documentary, and Ohiming Teria, an assistant editor. The Asante Hene promised to watch the documentary and take necessary action afterwards. According to him, until the right people behind the illegality are targeted and dealt with, the fight against Galamsey would continue to be a mirage.
Ghana for South Chinese you and I asked them. Ya ye hu se enim nipa enso ye nim nipa ye kwa ne akotwa photo se nkwala no a atache wo ye hu se galamse ne atwe photo se ya chi galamse fo gold no ho anaje koy.
Erastus Asaridonko is happy at the advocacy role played by the Asantehene in the Galamsey fight.
Otumfuo is the embodiment of power and advocacy across the world. And so we felt that having done and exposed what is really happening to our river bodies, both in the Ashanti region, Western region, and the Eastern regions across Ghana, we felt that he is the custodian of all lands and water bodies. So we should show it to him. And if he starts an advocacy in that direction, we are sure that we are going to get somewhere. He's going to play a major role in helping restore the natural value of our water bodies and our forest reserves.
From Kumasi for Joy News, Oyementiria reporting.
About 1,000 farmers from the Upper East and Northeast regions will this morning embark on a march to present a petition to the Vice President, Dr. Baumeier, and the Northern MPs, calling on them to prioritize the Paulugu multi-purpose dam project for investment as part of the IMF negotiations. But ahead of the march, the leadership of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana visited the construction site for the Paulugu Dam and expressed disappointment at the disappearance of the contractor from the site. Executive Director for the Peasant Farmers Association, Dr. Charles Nyaba, says in addition to making similar discoveries as were found in the JoyNews documentary A Dam of Promises, they also discovered that the contractor had sold some of his belongings to the community members, an indication that he may not be returning to the site.
Disappointed. I'm heartbroken. I'm sort of worse. You see, there was a little bit of hope in us when I didn't come to the site. But as you can see, the contractor has packed out of sight. And what is even making it more annoying and frightening is the fact that his tent that he brought here, the chippings that they bought, the sand that they bought, they sold everything to the community. The community members told us that people came to buy them. The community members, they sold it to them. Okay?
They sold what?
They sold the tents, they sold the sand, that these stones even lying there. They sold it. People are here to come and fetch it. Okay? So what I know with government projects is that if government run out of funding, contractors leave site, anytime they are paid, they come to continue. But in this case, what has informed the contractor's decision to actually sell the tents that he came in to put up to use for work? And I'm tempted to believe that maybe government had truncated the project, but they are not telling us. So the march is now to bring the community members involved. We are not just leaving this project to only the politicians or only to our leaders. So the march is actually bringing all the farmers in Upper East and Northeast who are interested in the development of this irrigation project to be part of it, to raise concerns, to let the whole country know that they are so passionate about this project, and whatever government is discussing as part of the IMF bailout negotiation, this dam should be prioritized for investment. Okay? If IMF bailout will release government and give them opportunity to go in for loans, we want this dam to be number one in terms of infrastructure development in Northern Ghana. We will try all our best to engage the Vice President to understand whether this project that he initiated that we are so happy about, which is going to be a historic project because this 24,000 hectares, the highest irrigation dam we had in this country is 3,500 hectares. That's the Tono and then Pong irrigation project. So it is a reason why we those in this part of the country are so much in love with the Vice President. But I'm sure that at least given his interest for the development of Northern Ghana, he should be able to give us an idea whether we should be hoping for this project to continue, or it has actually been abandoned.
Upper East Regional correspondent and producer of A Dam of Promises, Albert Story, joins me live. Albert, have the farmers started with their march?
So the march has not yet started, mainly because the farmers are gathering in the Northeast Regional capital in Nalerco. They are expecting East and Upper East regions to gather this morning for this march. They will also include farmers from the northern region as well. One of the reasons for doing this is because we want to use the opportunity of the Climate Change Week to draw government's attention to the importance of this dam, because as farmers, they believe that with the impact of climate change, this dam, if constructed, is going to go a long way to boost agriculture and also to improve the fortunes of peasant farmers in these two regions. So at the moment, they are gathering for this march. It will go through the principal streets of Nalerco, and it will end at the Northeast Regional Coordinating Council, where they will present a petition to the regional minister for onward transfer to the Vice President of Ghana.
All right, that is Upper East Regional correspondent Albert. Sorry, Albert, we'll be coming to you live at midday for updates on that march. Away from that, traffic offending drivers on roads in Ghana pass through a hectic process to fully settle the fines imposed on them as penalties. To help deal with this, students of the Department of Computer Science, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Clifford Osei and Felix Gaba have developed a traffic offense monitoring and payment app called the Traffic Police app. Lava Films' Kwesi Deborah has more in this report.
My name is Osei Clifford Asibi, and my partner here is Felix Jaba. We designed a traffic police application which focuses on digitalizing the manual reporting system of the traffic officer. Now, when one violates the road rules, the person's vehicle is being impounded, sent to the nearest police office, then certainly make payment. Now, this really takes time and wastes time as well. So our system here is able to report, take the incident, the video, and select the type of offense. Then the traffic police can initiate the report. Now, upon initiating the report, an SMS message will be sent to the offender. Then the person can either choose to make payment or challenge the fine at that particular moment. The traffic police needs to report by, first of all, taking a video of the incident. So if it's a wrong parking, the traffic police will have to take a short video of the incident, then upload. Now, the traffic police will have to enter the vehicle number. So if, say, this vehicle number, then enter the place of incident. So let's say Tech Junction. Now the traffic police needs to select the particular type of fine. Upon selecting the particular type of fine, the required amount, fine amount, will be selected. Then the traffic police will have to place the report. Now upon placing the report is sent to the central database where the offender will be fined. So it will generate an SMS message to the offender. Now, when the offender gets the message, if he's having an Android phone, he can download a separate app, which is the payment app, to just make payment. The SMS message consists of the fine ID, and that's what matters. So upon entering the fine ID in the search box, you get the details of the fine, the place of incidence, the amount, the description, everything. Now, there is this situation that the person is not having an Android phone. So the traffic police can aid the person to make payment. Now, the traffic police can click on the pay fine button, then there is a modal that will come to take the person's mobile money number. So when one wants to, and there is this instant that the person wants to challenge the fine so if the person wants to challenge the fine, the transaction will be unsuccessful. So there is this challenge fine button here that you can click on. Then the traffic police will have to take some small details about the violator. Probably the picture of the person, the driver's name, let's say Clifford, the driver's license, and the mobile phone number.
You're still watching Joy News Next with me, Mapitso Sebidi. Up next is business.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Over 1.2 million cedis will be paid to shareholders of Ejima Kwanwa Rural Bank as dividend for the 2021 financial year. This represents a 16% return on investment, with each share attracting 8 peso dividend. It comes after the expiration of the directive by the Bank of Ghana for deposit-taking institutions to halt payment of dividends in 2 financial years due to the impact of COVID-19. There's more in this report.
Ejima Kwanwa Rural Bank recorded profit before tax of over 7 million cedis in the year under review, a raise from 5.9 million posted in 2020. The bank, in the year under review, made a profit margin of 28% in comparison to the previous year. This is in spite of the negative economic outlook in comparison to the previous year. Deposits of customers grew by 19.6% from 205.3 million cedis in 2020 to 245.7 million cedis. In closing the 2021 financial year, total assets of the bank grew by 18.74%, driven mainly by a 14.15% increase in loans and advances to support the agriculture and SME sector of the economy. With stated capital of 3.4 million cedis, managers of the bank assured they are sufficiently capitalized to make profit. Chief Executive Officer Samuel Bonsu-Seche wants customers to increase their investments to help increase profit margins.
The way we operate, we make sure that we are always at maximum efficiency. For instance, in our staffing levels, we always operate at the optimal point. And when you operate like that, your profitability is surely going to go up. And then again, we encourage our staff to ensure that there's no wastage in the system. We build that culture in them. They know that the bank is a bank that rewards those who work hard. And so they work hard to make sure we make more, and then they also work hard to cut on wastage. And it has served us well over the years. We are continuing along those lines.
Management of the bank says prudent strategies had to be adopted to keep the bank afloat despite economic challenges. Vice Chairman of the board, Amwa Afrifa, says management of the bank kept to its strategic plans.
It based on the strategic issues that we discussed, that we planned for the past 5 years, which is ending December 2022. We thought it wise that it's very important to achieve the plans that was stated within the strategic. And the another point is that due to the hard working of the staff.
Meanwhile, some hard-working staff of the bank have been rewarded by the bank. For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
All right, now time for the biggest news of the day, handing it over to Maps. Who's got the details, Maps?
Presec Legon has now solidified its lead and bragging rights as National Science and Maths Quiz champions. Let's check out this report.
It's a sweet revenge, and they couldn't hide their joy.
When they beat us, we were all shocked, and we took it very badly, and we were disappointed. But then we remember that God still lives and God still reigns, and as long as God reigns, there is hope. And so that brought us this far.
Okay. Yeah, just like he said, a similar feeling. Just that seeing that we were very hopeful that this year is going to go well. And also, it was a learning platform for us. So we learned from the small mistakes that we made last year, and we try not to commit them this year.
It has been a long journey, but we have really proven that we are serving a living God.
Mother of one of Presec's contestants was seen moving and praying around the auditorium. She says it has been many years of hard work for her son, Alfred Ken Nsia.
When he was in the basic school, he started watching this contest with a grandmother.
Really?
The grandmother is a Presbyterian, so by default he will always support Presec. So it happened that he started building interest, and so he decided that when he grows up he will enter Presec. And the vision was that once I enter Presec, I must join the quiz team. But how was he going to join? He entered Presec, he called back home that there's going to be a series of tests. He started writing the test. He called back that by grace of God, he's been chosen, and so we started praying for him, supporting him every single way that we could. This is of God.
This is a beautiful story, and it brings tears to my eyes.
Yes. It's really a dream come true for I can't imagine his joy. It's a dream come true, and we give God the praise. Okay. What he dreamt has really come true. Yeah. Yes.
Mommy, what's your name?
I am Linda Laptia Quincia, a pharmacist.
Okay. Oh, a pharmacist. Huh, the apple does not fall far from the tree, huh? We have John Tinkran's father also here.
I was supporting him spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, and everything. So always I used to tell him that the battle is still the Lord. And what we have seen today is that the Lord who started good works in his life has accomplished it. So finally, I want to give glory to God.
I'm the president of the Presec Global Old Boys Association.
Yeah, we're going to win the trophy, and truly we've won it through the help of the Almighty God.
Okay. What does this victory mean to Presec? Now you've won your 7th trophy. The second school is Prempeh College, still at 5.
Well, I would say congratulations to my team. Prempeh College and Abisada have also done very well, and I also like to congratulate them as well, especially Prempeh College. They gave us a good challenge, but this means a lot to our school. What it means is that we are still #1 when it comes to SHS schools.
Let us go. Let the story. How excited are you?
Brother Charlie, I'm totally excited and elated. Of course, I can tell the brothers have done a great job. Our boys are really good. I mean, it was a really keen contest. I need to say kudos to the other schools as well, like Desado and Prempeh College. They give us a real tough battle, and we prevailed.
Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah. Let's speak to the headmaster. I'm told it is his birthday today. What a special birthday gift. What is the feeling like for you?
You can imagine. Extremely happy. I will need to give thanks to God. For Presec as a mission school, everything is God. Our foundation is God. And our secret is God. So we thank God for this special day and for this special victory. The trophy is here, the number 7 is here. We really serve a living God.
Presec Legon, and like I mentioned, the celebration is going to continue deep into the night. And even on this bus, this Presec bus, we've got the trophies here. John Tinkran is here, so this is a 7th trophy for Presec Legon. John Tinkran, the contestant, the one holding the trophy.
I will not say they gave me the revenge. I will say the God that we serve is a God of vengeance, and he did what we knew he would do. And he did it in a grand way.
I like that.
He did it in a very, very grand way. The way they led, the way the Prempeh team led from round 1, then round 2 the scores were equal, then round 3 they were leading us at 1 point, true or false, same 1 point, and Raiders, we blew their minds.
Yeah.
We indeed blew their minds, and I say we give thanks to God Most High, and I thank Alfred and John for allowing themselves to be used by God to glorify Himself.
They light, we shall see the light. We, the Odadia girlfriends, wives, sisters, and mothers are very proud of our boys, and next year we will definitely break the 8. And that is how we end Joy News Desk. My name is Mapitso Sebidi. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com.